kill flows, Nintendo Switch. I'm on some shit that's monumental, magical, artificial intelligence. Jotted down on scribes, the last of a dying breed. They wonder how I survived. Turpentine, turn the tide, go.
Yo, what's going on, everyone? This is your boy AshTheMan, bringing in the noise. Hey, how's everybody doing? And I know it's been a second since your boy did a video. Man, I could tell you the ups and downs, but we could say that for another time. But however, I've been scratching my head like, what would be a good video to really do stuff to come back on the scene, you know, to come back and let everybody know, like, yo, what's been going on. So this Monday, I was actually, sitting at the computer typing some stuff up, especially after work. And I seen that, my boy JJ Starwin, partner in crime, posted one of his corner episodes about what anime deserves like a sequel in the second season. So I got a chance to see it, laid a comment down for it, and I was like, man, that would be a good thing to do, like a nice topic, even though I'm kind of piggyback off of him. But in most situations, it's like that's the whole YouTube thing. If it's a good thing going on, we might as well jump on the bandwagon. So I just want to say, shouts out to JJ Starman for doing that. I'm gonna leave a link to his video too, so you guys can definitely check it out and give your thoughts on his video. But now we're here to talk about mine, and again, to roll the drums around, the anime that deserves a sequel or a second season. Now, I just want to let you know this is no particular order. I ain't saying one over most. I will let you know if this one stands out to me. But I just want to let you know each and every anime that I'm about to name. Of course, I'm going to go through a brief description of it. But I had definitely invest a good amount of time into it to be able to love the world, like the outlook of it, love the characters and everything. I may disagree with some, take on it, maybe some manga issues with it. But however, I do believe that it's a great entry to have. So I'm definitely can't wait to review this to you. So let's definitely go ahead and get started. And the first one that I think should get another season is Sephira of the Night. Now, if you're not knowing what's going on with this vampire sass, the end of the human world anime is, but with the appearance of a mysterious virus that kills everyone that's above the age of 13, mankind becomes enslaved by powerful vampires. Now, the vampires have particular ranks that they go through, but they emerge in order to subject the society with the promise to protect the survivors in exchange for the donation of their blood. Now, I wouldn't say donation, I would say more so as, taking their blood for their protection, but it's pretty much like a livestock. But along these survivors was one of the main characters, and Mikulai, which is his best friend. These two boys are taken captive from an orphanage, and along with other children from their considered families, this contact were being treated as livestock. Again, livestock under the vampires who ruled the region. Mikulai pretty much hatches a rebellious escape plan that is suddenly doomed to fail. And trust me, it fails. The only survivor that came out on the other side is Yu, who was found by the Moon Demon Corporation, a military unit dedicated to exterminating vampires in Japan. Many years later, he's now part of the Japanese Imperial Demon Army. Yu is determined to take revenge on the creatures that started his family, but at what cost? So, this anime really stuck out to me because, for one, one of the counters of the evil vampire is on the top, but however, being known that he's willing to go to some extent to doing this. Now, I will say that along the way he meets quite a few people who definitely does help him out and definitely make sure that he gets to the next level in the demon army. He was able to find his black sword. I think everybody in his squad has the black weapon. So with the black weapons enclose a very powerful demon, so they are able to call on their power to enhance their battle skills against vampires, because vampires compared to the humans are significantly stronger. So yeah, it's not going to look too good if they just go in there with random weapons and just get slaughtered. So but the Demon Imperial Army does have their own secrets versus with the vampires. So it's a lot of transitions that really makes this particular anime stands out. And when you think one is finished, another one pops in. Now I will say it's hard to keep focus on one thing when you got many things going on, but I think that's like the best understanding, to raise a lot of attention to what's going on, to have multiple situations to keep eyes on there. So I really do believe that this deserves a season 3. I know they got 2 seasons knocked off, and which 2 seasons, in my opinion, definitely did its job, but a season 3 is definitely needed. And I hope a lot of y'all feel the same way about this. If you haven't already, check out Sarah for the End. I believe you can catch it on Hulu. But let's get on to the next one. And this one is Taxi. Man, Taxi was something that I wasn't expecting to be real good, but Taxi did its thing. Now, it is set in a world where there's a taxi driver. His name is Otakua. Now he's a 40-year-old man. When you look at the anime, he represents a walrus who's a taxi driver who pretty much was abandoned by his parents in elementary school, leaving him antisocial. He really don't care getting involved with going on, but however, he usually has conversations with other riders who ride in his taxi, and with their respective journeys around Tokyo, where the series is set. Otokawa conversations with these people unravel in a series of mysteries. There's a lot of mysteries, active violence, and it could go for crimes, it could go for main media stuff. It's a lot of things that goes on when it comes to the conversations and the things that he witnessed just being a taxi driver. Now, one thing I will say is that police have been checking leads back to him, and now he's being followed by the Yukaza and the police. So this anime, again, it was one that came out the blue. I was not expecting it to be that good, but it's a lot of things about this anime that even makes sense, even why people is represented as animals in there. Again, the main character, Otakawa, he pretty much is represented as a walrus. One of the first people you meet, she is looked at as a sheep or a bunny, whatever the one is, but it comes around of almost giving you that same vibe of what that other anime on Netflix was. I can't remember the name, but however, this anime and the kind of things that goes on with it being in the crime world and everything, drugs, murder, and all that stuff is involved. This anime took me by surprise, and I absolutely love it. I am hoping that it get a second season. I know it got an additional movie for it after the series end, but now I need that second season. I want to see what else they do for it, or is it going to be called Odd Taxi, or are they going to call it something else? I'm not sure, but I know it's either get a second season or at least continue with a different name and a different atmosphere, especially on how it ended. But that's enough for this one. Let's jump into the other one, which this one, I know it's some of my highest videos as of right now comes for this particular material, but I do want a second season of Prison School. Man, Prison School is one of the funniest animes, but you get drawn into the story, especially when you really start following the manga. Now, Hichimisu Academy is one of the strictest girls' academies in Tokyo and has decided to admit boys into their system. Some of us 5 boys, but their discovery for Kageyoshi is that he is shocked that he and 4 of his friends, Gato, Shingo, Joji, which they call him Joe, and Renji, are the only male students within a 1,000 girl school. Now, there is a law that's in place which that even with any type of issues that goes on, if they deem the punishment to be something really crazy, they have this situation where they'll put you in this so-called detention area called prison school. Now, the 5 boys committed sneaking in on the girls while they was in their bathing areas, in which all of them was caught or whatever, and they was arrested for their issues, and so that the school name doesn't get out there, and so that they can provide a proper, act on making sure that they know how to discipline their students. They in-house them in their detention area, which they will live in their situation in prison school. So they wasn't allowed to their dorms. They was allowed to attend certain classes, but most of the times, like while they was out, they was in this prison school, which they was watched by the undergrad class eds, in which they had to, pretty much work while they was in prison. So like straighten up the fences, cutting the lawns, moving certain things. And man, as much as crazy as it seemed, oh my God, it was hilarious. Like some of the things that they do, some of the things that you're going to witness while watching this is crazy in one. And I mean, you will love it. So yeah, one of my favorite reads and one of my favorite things that I have watched, especially since it has that like crazy humorous, but I will say that you will enjoy yourself when you watch it, when you read it, but it definitely deserves a second season because there's definitely some things that's missing out there. So let's go ahead and get into the next one, which is Geifner. Now Geifner takes place with Shuichi Kaguya, which he would consider as an average high school student, but at times he turns into this animal that represents like a dog that is like dressed up in like jeans and a shirt. Now it doesn't really go into like how did he get his powers, but I do know that he has like a lack of memory. But one night he finds a building ablaze with a girl trapped inside, and decided to save her, he transformed and carried her to safety, but accidentally dropped his phone. The next day, the girl, which is Claire, he finds him and confronts him about his monster identity. She even goes as far as to push him off the school roof to prove her theory after Shuichi denies her allegation. So he did try to hide it, but she made it more apparent by pushing him off the roof. And I ain't gonna lie, that's kind of cold-blooded. But desperate to save himself, he transforms, and Claire snaps a picture of him in order to blackmail him and tell her everything he knows about monsters, and which ironically isn't much. As it turns out, Claire has her own secret in which she's been searching for her sister, who also becomes a monster. She enlists Shuichi's help to track her down, but they aren't the only ones searching for answers. Now, Geifner's story is one that is really dark. Like, it doesn't seem as dark when you look at the monster he transformed. It kind of like looked like somebody that is dressed up in a suit or anything like that. But it definitely took me by surprise when I started looking into the story, especially when the season ended and I started reading the manga. Again, it can get real dark. Characters that you're introduced to definitely plays a big role, even when it comes into like the past, of like knowing certain things that you find out later, especially when it's about Claire's history, his history. It gets really crazy and dark. The only thing that I would say that like grinds me a little bit is that the ending it wasn't as strong. But all in all, this material was good, and I do think that it does deserve a second season. Now, the final one that I'm listing on this is Cavalier of a Failed Knight. Now, Cavalier of a Failed Knight falls as one of those typical, 12 episode season animes that normally has a bit of fan service in it. Now, I will say this one not so much, but I think this one has a very interesting concept that I really did like. In an alternate Earth, humans are called blazers, have special unnatural abilities. These blazers can materialize weapons such as a device in which they are made through a person's soul. At Hugon Academy, blazers are selected as to represent for the 7-star sword art of festival, an annual tournament that's being held by the 7 mage academies in Japan that determine the strongest apprentice knight. Hugon performance ranking NFS was fallen, and the academy director Kurono is determined to find a solution to the problem. Karanga is the Academy's F-rank blazer and is considered to be the worst one for his low magic abilities, but Stella Vermilion is the princess of the European country Vermilion and is one of the top A-rank Blazers. So the first day at the Hugon Academy, she is arranged to share a room with Iki as a transfer student for the academy. And this is crazy. Maybe it's a cultural thing, but for a man and female to share a room is crazy. But Iki discovers Stella half-dressed, and he is challenged to a duel where a user will be obedient to the winner for life. So he walks in, sees her naked, and now they have to duke it out. Now, again, Iki being an F-rank Blazer and Stella being an A-rank Blazer, the series followed the adventures of these two as they tried to qualify the school representatives for the festival. But during this fight, though, Iki definitely came out with the dub, and he was not at all like had an advantage over or anything like that. It's just that like beforehand he was never really able to participate due to the school rulers of him and his abilities. Like, yeah, he is sharp as ever, but his magic abilities is just not good. Like, his swordsmanship is good. He knows a lot of styles. He can even mimic styles, but it just wasn't in his favor previously until this year. And seeing that how the first season took off, the manga like takes off a little bit on it, but I definitely would want this to do justice, because it's not the normal 12 episode anime where it's just so much fan service you really don't get to continue on the story. No, it's actually really interesting, and I took a liking to it, took almost an attachment to this, and this was definitely crazy. But overall, these are my set animes that I believe should get a second season. You would think it would be kind of crazy that they wouldn't, but sometimes it's just not that, guaranteed that it will. But if they had to and they looking at this video, go ahead and give each one of these a look and see what the fan base may think about it. But other than that, again, and I still want to give a shout out to JJ on Star One for this. He did post another video, which ones that didn't deserve it, so I'm gonna definitely follow that one too, and then give my own twist on it. But however, I do want to thank you guys for definitely tuning into this video. Don't forget to subscribe, hit that like button, and leave a comment below on what you guys think about the selection and the animes that I personally have selected for this. Other than that, AshTheMan is out. Until then, peace. Thank you guys for watching. It's always a pleasure to have you. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and hit that notification button to get all of my uploads. And I want to give a special shout out to all my Patreon subscribers. Thank you so much for the support for the channel. And again, I will see you guys next time. Peace.